What is the biggest misconception of you? What's one thing people think about you, but it's not true?
Oh man, just being pretty. I feel like when people think that you're a pretty girl, like everything comes easy for you, when actually you have to work and fight harder because you're pretty. Because it's almost like you have to prove yourself, like, hey, I'm more than just a pretty face. I'm not just out here like, okay, what you hand out? What y'all gonna do for me? Because I'm pretty. Like, I don't take that route. But a lot of women do that, and it works for them, which is fine. But for me, that's the biggest, definitely the biggest misconception.
Craziest rumor you heard about yourself?
Oh my gosh, I have a waist tattoo, right? And it goes from one hip to the next. That I got that to cover up a C-section. I'm like, where the baby at? I'm like, I don't even have any kids. And yeah, because I was doing like some modeling back in the day where it's like you would see my tattoo and like the stuff I'd wear, like bathing suits and stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, she's covering up her tattoo. But the reason why I got the tattoo on the front is because I think a woman's back is just beautiful, plain, like as a canvas, just a blank canvas. So like all my tattoos are forward, like everything's like on the front side, because I just wanted to leave the back alone. That was the reason. But people said like I have some baby running around out here, and that was a C-section scar, which is crazy because I wouldn't neglect my child. If I had a kid, you guys would know I had a kid. Look how much I flaunt my dog on Instagram.
Now, what is the meaning behind that particular waist tattoo?
Man, well, the first one I got when I was 15. So, and I got that with my sister's ID, and it was like, I walked in a tattoo shop and I literally just picked out something, added like the booklet or whatever. It was like 2 roses that said princess. It was something super corny. And I started adding to it. So like at first it was just on one side, and then I started doing stuff on that side. And then I was like, I'm just gonna connect it. So, but I'm into, flowers and stuff like that. And I didn't want to put anything on my back, so I just connected the whole front. But for no particular reason. I was just a rebel, wanted tattoos. And then, you know what they say, like once you get one, like you get a million.
That first tattoo you used your sister's ID for.
Yeah.
With her knowledge or without her knowledge?
Without. I mean, she knew I had her ID, but I wasn't like, I'm about to go get a tattoo because she'd probably talk me out of it. No. I had a car at 15, 16. You know what I mean? So I was in them streets. You couldn't tell me nothing.
You did it without your sister's knowledge.
Yep.
So I'm assuming that you hid this first tattoo at 15 from your parents as well.
Yeah, that's why I got it so low, because it's like on my waist. So I got it low enough where like you can't see it and close. I literally have to be like in a bathing suit, and even then, like the placement of it, depending on the style of the bikini or whatever, like I could still cover it. So it was strategic.
How did your parents find out you finally got your first tattoo?
Oh my gosh, I think I told my mom, I think I told her. Or no, it wasn't the first one. I started adding to it. So like once I started adding to it, it started to be more visible. So I think I was at a barbecue or something, and I had this skirt on that had like a V cut, and it went, and the cut of it was just kind of like, you could see the tattoo, and I think my mom saw something and was like, what is that? And she's like, girl, and she tried to, look at it or whatever, and I just ended up spilling the beans. But by then I had like 4. But they were all like, connecting slowly in that same spot.
What was her reaction when she finally saw it?
She was like, when the heck did you do this? Why you want to mark up your body? Blah, blah, blah. But by then I was going to get more tattoos. So I was sorry, but this is it.
How long do you think it was hidden for before she finally saw it?
Oh my gosh. It was probably hidden for like a year or 2. Yeah, I pulled it off for a while.
And as you were adding to it, you were using the same tattoo artist?
Yes. Yeah, because he knew I was underage, so there was no one else. The very first person who tattooed me, I used a fake ID, but obviously he wasn't really good. So my older cousin at the time, she had a lot of tattoos, and I really liked her, so she was like, well, I'll take you to my guy. So I went there, and they knew that I was young, but like they didn't care. Like if you had money, you could get whatever you wanted. Like you didn't have to sign a waiver or like, hey, I'm 18. You didn't have to do any of that. You just go there and be like, this is how much I got, this is what I want, and then they tattoo you. So from then on, I stayed with the same person, and they finished out the entire piece.
Now I know sometimes when parents find out their child is starting to tattoo their body, they have body part requests. Like, okay, you're starting to tattoo your waist, but don't touch this body part, or don't go for this. Did your mother have any of those body part requests or no?
No, she didn't. I mean, she knew at the end of the day, like I was acting and I was cheerleading, so I couldn't do anything too crazy. So I only would tattoo places that I knew that I could cover up at the time. And then as I got older, I started to get more like risky with like the placement. But outside of that, I just kept it under the clothes.
Now, is there a question people ask you cannot stand, you hate to answer?
Oh my gosh. I hate when people ask me to tell them a joke. They're like, oh, you do comedy? I'm like, yeah. Oh, say something funny. I'm like, no. How about you say something funny? Since you want to hear a joke so bad, make your damn self laugh. There's a couple things. I don't like when people ask me to tell them a joke, and I hate when people walk up to me and they're like, and they act like I'm 6 years old, like, you're so tiny, you're so cute, you're so this, oh, you're so short. I feel like that's rude. I feel like I'm not going to walk up to someone who's overweight and be like, you a fat ass bitch. You look at you. You a fat girl. Let me see your little muffin. Let me grab your muffin top. How sweet. Like, that's rude to me. So when people are like, oh, and they start doing this to me, I'm like, I'm grown. Like, I'll bite you.
When it comes to your style of comedy and your form of comedy, does that come from a dark place at all?
Some of it I feel, when I get into like the relationship stuff, I feel like, of course I'm going to talk about like heartbreak and try to flip it around and make it funny, where I put the blame on the guy and I could like talk shit about the guy. But for the most part, I don't want to say a dark place. I just want to say a previous place. You know, and if it happened to be heartbreak, then so be it. But for the most part, it's just things that I've gone through or that have happened to me that I know other women experience, and I find a way to flip it and make it funny.
Because there's several comedians where their comedy does come from a dark place.
Yeah.
When they started doing comedy, it was a defense mechanism for something that happened when they were growing up or how they grew up or that sort of thing. Right. I didn't know if that applied to you or not.
No. I mean, I don't come from that dark of a place where I would pull from in that area, but I mean, like, I definitely use all areas of my life, but nothing dark to the point where it's like I could start crying while on stage.
Now, do you care what people think of you?
To an extent. You know, like, I'll read my comments and it could be a million people saying like, oh, I love you, this, and that, you're so this, you're so that. And then there's someone who could just say something really mean. Because I don't understand internet trolls. It's like, I feel like these are people who like really hate people. And it's always from like a creep account. It's like, why do you have to go to someone's page just to be mean or just say hateful things? So sometimes people say certain things that are hurtful, but not because it's like, oh my gosh, that hurt my feelings. It's just like, why do you have time to do that? Like, why do you take the time to do that? Like, you obviously see I'm out here making an honest living. I'm healing people with laughter, but yet you want to point out whatever you think about me and make that the focal point, which I think is just stupid.
Now, I know you do care to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But I know sometimes when people care about a person's opinion of them, and this could apply to even when you were younger, but it can lead to health issues.
Oh, yeah.
It can lead to a certain level of stress. It can lead to anxiety. It can lead to depression.
Yeah.
Worst case, suicidal thoughts.
Yeah.
Did it ever get that bad for you when you did care? And again, this is hindsight 2020.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm growing every day, so I'm not at that level where what people say to me hurts that bad. Right now, I'm still kind of new. I'm still finding my way, and I'm not like in blogs. I'm not, so it's not like the people who are saying certain things matter. It's just one corny person at home on their phone who probably is miserable and a virgin or whatever, who have some terrible things to say about me. But it's not like, at the level where it's like everybody's talking about it, where it's like, for example, like, like the whole Khloe Kardashian and Tristan thing, how they publicly embarrassed her with him cheating and stuff like that, where everybody was in on it. Everybody had an opinion. Everybody had something to say. So I'm not at that level yet to where it would even make me want to get off Instagram or even feel like I'd hurt myself or anything like that. It's just the corny people who have nothing better to do at this point.
Well, this can just also apply to, like I said, even your younger life. I don't know if you experienced somebody that, downed you or that sort of thing, and it could have led to stuff like this before?
Let me see. I mean, I was hated on all my life, to be honest. Like, and I just never understood why. Like, I grew up in a household, like, if I got in trouble and I was grounded or they took my phone away or whatever, there was always a reason. It wasn't just like, you know, I'm getting in trouble and I don't know why. Like, before anything would happen, before I would get reprimanded, it would be explained to me, like, this is why. So as I got older and I was, you know, in high school and everything, and people didn't like me for no reason, it really bothered me, and I just didn't get it. I just didn't understand it. So that part just really bothered me because everything else in my life was explained to, like, you know, if you break the law, you'll go to jail, or if you do this, if you put your hand over fire, you're gonna get burned. I don't understand how someone could just dislike somebody for absolutely no reason. So that bothered me because it was like I was a nice person, I was funny, I was likable, I was popular, I was a cheerleader all my life, and I was good at it, and I had a cute boyfriend or whatever, and people just didn't like it, you know? And as I'm older now, it's just like, you know, there's gonna be haters everywhere, but early on, that did bother me, and it did, you know, kind of mess me up and give me a little issues.
Never to the point where you sought counseling or therapy for it, or?
Anger management, but not because of that. I just have really bad anxiety. Not as bad as I used to, but like then I had really, really bad anxiety, and like I would just tear things up.
Was there ever medication involved for something of that nature too, or no?
No, but you know what? I feel like I would not be mad if somebody prescribed me anxiety pills as of today. So I'm not against it, but back then, no. I just took like the anger management route.
That was something your parents set up? That was something school suggested to set up? That was something...
No, I wanted to go.
Oh.
I wanted to go because so if I have one of my episodes and I fuck up my room or whatever, and then afterwards, it's like, I don't like how I feel after. So it's like, okay, what can I do? What can I do to fix this so this doesn't happen again, kind of thing.
Now, somebody watching this may be considering something of that nature too.
Yeah.
Was the anger management therapy or classes or whatever, was that helpful?
It was because honestly, it's like you're talking to somebody. Like, for example, you know, we go to the gym, we hire a trainer to work us out because they know about the body and how it moves and muscles and things like that. You hire a chef or a nutritionist because they know exactly how to diet in order for you to reach certain goals. So why not talk to somebody who studies the brain? You know, so some people are like, I'm not gonna go see somebody about this because I'm not crazy. But really, like, this is someone who's literally studied the mind and that can help you see things in a different perspective that can serve you, ultimately.
How has your anger management been since then?
I mean, good. I mean, this was a while ago. So, I mean, like, being older, like getting older and just going through life, you know, you realize that certain things just aren't worth getting mad about. But that just takes time.
Now, there may be somebody watching this that's going through those similar emotions, especially with anger management. Is there anything, and of course, circumstances can be different for everybody, but somebody watching this, is there anything you would say to that person going through similar emotions or similar motions?
Yeah. I would tell them to write down everything that makes them angry and then write down on the same piece of paper, like, what makes them happy and things that make them happy. And I would ask them or I would suggest that they just see what they can do without, like, see, like, if it's worth it, if they had to compare the two, like, just to weigh it out. And I mean, ultimately, everybody wants to be happy, right? So if we get in full control of our emotions, which we can, you know, then we'll ultimately be happy, right? So what if we were to look at our problems not as problems, just as, you know, temporary situations, and we look at, you know, the things that make us happy and try to do those things. So that way, the things that might be bothering us or that we might be going through won't affect us the same way because we'll be so focused on the things that do work for us. If that makes sense.
Now, at this point, what are your keys to success? What are some things that make you successful?
For me, being myself, you know, just being true to myself. I feel like especially early on, like a lot of people who are in artist development, you know, they trust people to guide them to be a certain way, but I feel like you as an artist should have a say-so in whatever anyone is trying to suggest you do with your life and your image. You know, like nobody can sit here and be like, this is what she's going to do or this is what's going to happen without talking to me, because ultimately it's me. I have to be comfortable. I have to be happy. I have to be the person to do it, you know? So everyone has a bright idea and a suggestion, but I feel like you should always have, you know, I mean, obviously you have the right people around you who can, you know, make suggestions, but at the end of the day, it should be a conversation about how you want to grow in what you're doing to be successful. You know, you should never let somebody just take full control over that, because some people might be trying to live their life through you, and then they have you doing all the things that they wish that they could do, but through you, and it's not what you want. So I stand firm on being who I am, and I encourage people to be themselves, their true selves, because at the end of the day, it's you. You know what I mean? Like, you're the one who has to be happy with who you are in whatever position you're in, you know?